Okay. And we're live. Excellent. So here's the deal. Today we're going to talk about why witches are still broke throughout 2025, especially at the end of it. The main issue is what you are taught about money and what you are taught about how you should get it. If you look at how the media directs financial awareness and education towards, I'm going to say it, I'm going to say it, towards women versus towards men, there's a big ass difference. Okay. And the difference is articles and books and anything helpful that teaches about financial awareness or education of any kind directed towards dudes, 9 times out of 10 is going to say, here's how you invest $300 and make 300,000. Here's the best investments for the upcoming year. Here's how you can triple your monthly income by investing in such and such. And then articles towards women, 9 times out of 10 are going to say, here's how you can stop eating so you can save $5. Here's how to deprive yourself of the basic things that you need to live in order to have enough gas money to get to a job to serve a boss that doesn't give a shit about you and tells you to come in on the one holiday when your child wants to see you, et cetera, it just gets worse. The difference is what you're taught versus what they've been taught. That's why there's this big ass rift in a lot of ways, a lot of the time. What you've been shown about how to get money and what it requires, what you've been shown about what is required of you in order to get it is what's wrong. You've just been taught the wrong shit. And it's obscene in my humble opinion, because you're being shown how to cut out things that you desperately need. And then you'll hear people say, especially, other generations, you'll hear them say, oh, well, you just got to quit buying that Starbucks and you'll make rent. You'll be able to pay rent. You just got to leave that Starbucks alone, honey. You got to quit drinking coffee. You got to quit drinking coffee to make rent. Because rent's going to be $2,000 just about anywhere. So me depriving myself of fucking coffee is supposed to help me make rent. This is the kind of shit people are taught. It's just disgusting. So what you have to do is rewire your brain and rewire your thinking about what are the right ways to get money. What are the right ways? Because women are taught to do really what they do best, which is to go inward and make adjustments, but that's being abused. The knowledge of us knowing how to do that is being abused, which is why you see the money articles that say, well, you just got to quit doing such and such. You just got to start working on yourself. Just got to make some improvements on yourself and what you're doing, you poor stupid fool. Then you'll have money, you poor fucking idiot. But all that shit towards men, you just got to make the right investments, bro. Just got to make the right investments. They're right to an extent. The difference between men's money and women's money is that women need to invest in themselves. And that's how they do better. So when you invest in yourself, you're basically celebrating yourself and putting yourself out in the world and talking about how great you are. Then you get money. Whereas when dudes do it, they can't do that. That would never work. It wouldn't work. They have to invest in something outside of themselves, and then things get better. So it's different. Does that make sense so far? I know I'm going on with a lot of different topics and stuff, but different ideas, but that's the main gist. So what you need to do is start investing in you and have everything coming from you and starting with you. This means that you need to be obsessed with yourself, just like your haters are. If there's one thing I've learned from people who hate me, it's how to love me. because the fact that people are obsessed with you, they're upset. They act like they hate you and they talk like they hate you when they talk about you. They're saying it as if they can't stand you, but the real truth is underneath it all. They actually love you. Because if they didn't, they wouldn't. They quit thinking about you. Period. It's really that simple. A lot of people say it's not. It's that simple. They're obsessed because they love you. Period. And so the cue that you can take from that is that you ought to be damn well obsessed with yourself too. Hell, it's high time you were. So the reason I bring up this topic and I want to make a video about this is because I was looking through the Instagram feed, and I was looking at the hashtag for witchy business or anything that had witchy business in it. Just I wanted to see what everybody else was up to, and to keep on top of the what's trending and what's being talked about the most. So I look for that stuff, and a lot of times that's where I get my ideas for videos. Is problems I find, which a lot of times are many. And the one I saw yesterday was, I don't know how many videos in my feed in the search feed talked about how to go to Dollar Tree and get everything for cheap so you can still do, so you don't have to go broke doing witchcraft. How to do witchcraft on a budget. How to blah, blah, blah. And it's all this stuff about how to get everything, as cheap as possible and still do what you want to do. When really what you need to be taught is not how to keep everything cheap around you. It's how to invest in yourself and how to think differently, and so that you can draw in things that are higher quality in your life, not just stuff, but people and vibes, higher quality money, shit like that. So the trend is to keep on the poor mindset and keep on the lack mindset to the point where you just stay there. If you want to go and get all your stuff from Dollar Tree because you can't get anything else, that's no great sin. I don't care about that. But the fact that it's being taught perpetually is what's behind people still being broke and trying to do magic and still being broke. Hopefully, eventually, the people who are doing that and taking that advice and trying to use it to make their lives better are going to eventually realize that you don't need all the damn candles and shit to do magic. You just think about it and it happens. And you don't, and then having money to go to the Dollar Tree to go get fucking green candles or whatever won't fucking matter, because you're not going to need the goddamn green candle. Does that make sense? Hopefully, eventually they'll get to a point where they realize that that's the case, and that they don't have to go and buy a bunch of stuff and see what's marked down at Dollar General so they can still do their spell. That just sounds abysmal to me. That sounds abysmal. I would never want that. But what you have to realize what you're being taught about money and how to get it and how to keep getting it, like, consistently, has been wrong. All this shit about, if you just quit spending money, if you just what if you look at my Instagram right now, my followers have shot up. The reason for that is because all I did was boost the fucking posts that I made because they were good, and I used good songs on there, and I said I used the right catchphrases and shit like that, and I've got shares on there. I can screenshot that shit. I don't care. I've got shares. They have saves, whatever the fuck. All that stuff is circulating, and followers going up, views going up, because I promoted the post. If you look on there, the cheapest I think is I think it's either $5 or $3 to post to boost your reel. Boost is what I should have said. Boost your reel. It's either $3 or $5, and you can do it for however many days. If you're trying to do your witchy business online, and you're trying to build a following, and you're trying to build rapport, and you're trying to get more eyes on your stuff, and you want to boost a reel to get it out there more, that is what I would like to see you try to do from now on, because it makes a difference. It gets your stuff in front of real eyes. It gets your stuff in front of real people who are looking for you. You can set the thing to what kind of people you want, men or women. whatever country, age group, shit like that. And I think it'll let you do interests as well. Or that might be TikTok. I can't remember. Somebody does that where you can add the interests and shit like that. And you can do however many dollars per day for how many days. So if you do that, you can pick whatever the lowest thing is. You'll still get eyes on your page. So long as you know how to speak to that client. So you're still gonna make it. Even if you have to do a little bit at a time, but the $5 that you're spending at the dollar store to do spell work, to get the money candle, to draw in more clients, when really you need to put that money in yourself, not dollars, not Dollar General, and instead put the money directly into yourself and say, okay, well, I'm going to boost me. I'm going to boost images of me, and I'm going to boost my words and my message about my business. And fucking go on Instagram or whatever it is you have your thing, do the promote. TikTok calls it promote. Instagram calls it boost. I forgot what YouTube calls it. But anyway, every website's got their thing. You go on there, pay a few dollars, pay the same amount you would have paid at fucking Dollar Tree, and boost your fucking business and put that shit out there. Start with you. Start here, right at home. You have to learn. The reason you're not making sales is because you're not thinking about yourself. In a way, you're not being selfish enough. And that's why you don't have the money coming in yet. You're not starting with you. Your business is an extension of you. No matter how it looks. No matter how it looks, it's an extension of you. Not so much your efforts, but more an extension of what you think of yourself and what you think you can do. If you go look at other people online and you look at their reels and their content and the stuff they say about their business or their services, whatever, and they seem so confident, and a lot of times you might run into a page that sounds like they're full of themselves or whatever. They may sound that way, but they probably have 100,000 fucking followers, and they're getting all kinds of gifts and the reels and shit like that and whatever else, and making plenty of bank, and they're definitely paying rent. Plus, who knows how much more that they're getting. So you have to be a little bit full of yourself if you're going to make it. A little bit. You have to act like your shit is top tier. And in order to do that, your investments need to go into yourself, not shit outside of you, and then just hoping for the best. And that's not said in condescension. It's not said in hatred. I'm not trying to like send everybody home in tears. That's not my intention. It's just that your attention needs to be drawn to where your issue is and where you're hurting yourself. And that's Dark Feminine's job. Hi, I'm Miranda Jane Wyatt. I'm from Alabama. And welcome to the dark side. So, I'd introduce the dog, but he's outside. Typically, this would be where I would let him interject. But anyway, you get my point. So I may do a part 2 for this. I'm going to leave it at this. I think this was a good message for today. I'm going to leave it at that. I will be going live again in a little bit here on some other topics. So stick around if you want to see that. And this is YouTube. This is Instagram. And this is TikTok. Thank you for everybody that has joined in and watched me live. I'm sorry I couldn't look at the y'all too. I get focused on the one that's in front of me, which is YouTube because of the laptop. So anyway, that's it for now, and I'll see you again in a little bit. Bye-bye.